Hi guys, I'm Andy. Welcome back to Backpacking UK. Hiking, backpacking and wild camping your thing. Please hit that subscribe button because that's what this channel's all about. Right, today I'll be showing you all my Decathlon camping gear, which includes all my Quechua camping gear and all my Forclaz backpacking gear. So today I'm going to show you 3 backpacking tents, some trekking poles, a full sleep system which includes a sleeping mat, sleeping bag and pillow, and also my camp kitchen stuff as well. So I'm going to show you a 1-person cook set, a 2-person cook set, and a really smart camping stove as well. Now these have all been tried and tested. If you check out my Brecon Beacons wild camping video, which I'll put a link in the description also at the end of this video, you can see all of this gear in action as well. But Backpacking UK, we absolutely love Decathlon stuff. So today I'm not just going to show you these in their bags and talk about them. I'm going to get everything out for you to have a really good look at. We'll talk about the specs, positives and negatives, and I'm also going to pitch all 3 of these Decathlon backpacking tents as well. So let's get cracking. So first up, I'm going to show you some of my camping cooking gear. I'm going to start off with my little 1-person cook set. Now this is an absolute bargain. This is £14.99. It's ridiculous. It's made of 304 grade stainless steel, which is like catering grade stainless steel. It's really, really smart. It's a 900 milliliter pot. It's got 2 fold out handles like so. It's got a lid with a strainer on, and then inside you get a spork which folds out and actually locks into place like so, and then you get your bowl as well. So this is just £14.99 for this set. It's even got like a little spout on the front. It's got measuring inside too. You cannot go wrong. This is an absolute bargain. So next up, I've got the 2-person version, which is slightly bigger. It's 13 centimeters by 14 centimeters. It also weighs 100 grams more, so 405 grams. Costs £10 more too. It's still only £25. It's a 1.6 litre pot, so it uses the exact same handles, uses the same style lid with a strainer, the same style of sporks like a his and a hers, and you've got 2 bowls as well. So likewise, it's got the spout. It's 1.3 litre pot. It's just really well made. £24.99. That is a bargain. Next up, I've got my Decathlon camping stove, the Forclaz MT900 stove. So this design is very, very similar to the MSR Pocket Rocket Deluxe and the Soto Windmaster stove. However, it only costs £29.99, so it costs substantially less, about half price. But it's really well made. It's got these 3 prongs that come out like so. You've got a nice deep lip which really helps in the wind. It's a very windproof stove. You've got a small distance between the lip and the bottom of your cook set or your mug as well, so it's going to be quite an efficient stove at that. It's got a really good piezo igniter which works first time. It's got a nice valve as well. It's just a really high quality little stove this is. It weighs 85 grams, and this Forclaz camping stove will heat a litre of water in just 3 minutes and 4 seconds. So it's a seriously powerful stove this is. So next up is my Forclaz Trek pillow. Costs £14.99, which is the same as like a Trekology pillow. However, although this is heavier, it's so much more comfortable to lay your head on. It really is. It's 170 grams, but it includes a nice layer of foam on top, and it's a good size too. So let's get this out to show you. So this is the Forclaz Trek pillow. It's 36 centimeters by 25 centimeters by 7 centimeters thick. So it's a decent size pillow. You really have got this nice layer of sponge on the top, and it's a really nice fabric as well to rest your head on. And what I love about this trekking pillow is you can take the cover off and wash it, which when you're backpacking, that's not a bad idea because we're not the cleanest of people. So you can just chuck that in the wash. It's got a valve on the end. It's also got a non-return valve as well, so you don't waste any energy with that. But £14.99. Personally, I'd probably ditch the Trekology style pillow. This is a little bit heavier, a little bit bigger, and much more comfy. Next up is the Forclaz MT900 Inflatable Sleeping Pad. Now this is a summer sleeping pad, so it's got an R value of just 1.5, but it doesn't really matter in summer when it's really nice and hot. This is the large version. Here at Backpacking UK, we've started to use wider and longer sleeping pads. They're a little bit bigger, they're a little bit heavier, but we find we just get a better night's sleep on them. So this one is 190 centimeters long by 60 centimeters wide by 5 centimeters deep, and comes in at 600 grams. Now my mate used this for the first time. He went to bed at 11 p.m. He said he was asleep within 20 seconds and woke up at 7:30 a.m. So I've never done that. So that goes to show just how good this inflatable sleeping pad could be. So this is the MT900 Forclaz inflatable sleeping mat. As you can see, it looks like a surfboard and it's big enough too. This is the large version. So this is really long, really wide, really quite comfy as well. What I love about this is the little grippers it's got on there, so it's to stop you sort of slipping, sliding around. As I've said, there's no dye used in this inflatable sleeping mat as well, and you've also got a separate in and a separate out valve as well, so no wasted energy there. But this is one seriously comfy sleeping mat for 50 quid, no doubt about that. Next up is my Forclaz MT900 down sleeping bag. Now I would say to anyone, if you're ever going to camp at temperatures sort of less than 7 degrees during the night, I really would heavily recommend a down sleeping bag. The problem is they're really expensive. However, this one will take you down to 0 degrees. That's the comfort level. It's £159. It uses really high quality 800 fill power down, and it's got 500 grams worth of it. So this package is 950 grams. You can make it much smaller than this as well. That is a good thing about down sleeping bags. You can really compress them, and this is a big sleeping bag as well. This is a size large. So let's take a look. So this is the large version of the Forclaz MT900 down sleeping bag. It uses 500 grams of 800 fill power down, so real high quality down, and lots of it too. That's how it can achieve a comfort rating of 0 or a limit rating of -5. But it's mummy style, it's really close to the top. Inside you've got a baffle at the back and a baffle at the front, and that just really locks in that warmth, stops all the heat escaping, and it's got a really nice toe box too, keep your feet nice and toasty during the night. So now on to the backpacking tents. This is the Forclaz MT900 Trekking Tarp Tent 1P. So it's a one person backpacking tent. Now this is their lightest tent that they've ever made, 920 grams. So sub 1 kilo for a backpacking tent at any budget is really good, and Decathlon have managed to do this for about £150. So this is the brand new, just released Decathlon Forclaz Trekking Tarp tent MT900. So it's a one-person trekking pole tent. It weighs just 920 grams. It's a serious bit of ultralight backpacking gear. There's lots of see-through mesh, but it still does have some solid mesh at the bottom, so if it does get a bit cool and drafty at night, you're going to stay warm. But it's got a really nice height to it. You can easily sit up in it. It's got one big vestibule. The other side is completely flat, that you don't often see at all. But it's really well made, once again, really well thought out by Decathlon. It's a cracking tent. I'd expect this to come in just under £150. I think the price is yet to be released. Next up is the two-person version of the Forclaz MT900 trekking tarp tent. Now I've used this personally. This you'll see a lot of in my Brecons Beacons World Camping video. I went there, I wasn't really sure about it, to be honest, but I had a cracking time in this tent. It did everything brilliantly, and it was the biggest surprise out of all the gear. And I ended up really rating it. It weighs 1.3 kilos, so it's a true backpacking tent. It's real nice and lightweight. Being two-person, it's like nice, bright, roomy, spacious. It's got this no-dye fabric on there, which is good for the environment, but in summertime it also helps sort of reflect some of that heat as well. So this was definitely a surprise for me. And to top it off, it's just £159, which I think is really reasonable. Right, so just show you around this Decathlon Forclaz MT900 trekking pole tent. So it's a two-person tent, weighs 1.3 kilos, and this is the version that doesn't use any tent dye in the outer. So the last tent is the Forclaz MT900 backpacking tent. Now, out of all of my gear reviews, this has received the most views. Over 100,000 people have seen me review this tent. And I tell you what, it is a cracking tent. It really is. It's a heavier backpacking tent. It's 1.95 kilos, but it's still under that 2 kilogram threshold, which I think means a lot to a lot of backpackers out there. But this is a proper two-person tent. It's absolutely brilliant for free-season use. It's got some great features, lots of pockets. It's got some really cool vestibules where the ground sheet comes from under the tent into the vestibule, so if the ground's wet you can put your backpack or your belongings on there without it getting wet. It's really good. And even though this tent has gone up in price this year, it's now £229, still think it's great value for money. Right, so let's have a look around this Forclaz MT900 tent. Okay, let's take a look inside. So these are the vestibules. They're about 70 centimetres wide, but you can see what I mean. You can put all your gear in the vestibules. It won't run away because it's got quite high sides. If the ground's wet, it's just going to keep dry. By far the best feature about this tent, don't see it on any other tents either without a separate ground sheet. It's got two pockets at the head end. It's got two really good roof pockets up here, which I'm really impressed with. It's got like a little hook, and it's also got some little fixings at the top if you wanted to run a bit of paracord or something and create like a little line. But it's a really nice tent. And lastly, we've got my Forclaz MT900 trekking poles. Now these will set you back £39 each, and this is the one item I do have a bit of an issue with, because although they're really well made, and they genuinely really are, it's got really nice adjustment with all your heights on there. It collapses down nice. It's got some nice fixings. I mean, these are much better made than lots of other trekking poles out there. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But they are only aluminium at the end of the day, and they're £40 each. For that sort of money, I would like to see these carbon fibre. So even though good quality item, unfortunately, out of the products that I have of theirs, this is probably the worst value for money. So I hope you've enjoyed this Decathlon camping gear haul. This is the gear that we use. We really enjoy using it. I think the Cooksets are absolutely superb value for money. The stove's really good. The pillow, again, is excellent value for money. The sleeping mat is great in summer. I wouldn't use it outside the summer if I'm honest. That down sleeping bag is so comfy, it's so warm. You can use that all year round. The tents, the trekking pole tents, personally, I would use them in the warmer months, probably even summer. The dome tent, I think you can definitely use that for a full 3 seasons. But it just goes to show Decathlon gear is really good quality. I mean, the trekking poles, although the quality is superb, unfortunately the value isn't on those, but the rest of it is. And what I would say is MT900 range is where it's at. That's really good quality. If you can afford it, try and get that. It's just much nicer gear, and it's like lighter, better materials, all that sort of thing. 500, which is sort of middle range, that's really good stuff too. Might weigh a little bit more, might be better suited towards summer, but it's still really nice. The lower end of the range can be a little bit cheap and cheerful. So what I'd say to that is, when you go to Decathlon, just have a look, have a feel, you know, especially if it's clothing, have a feel of the fabrics. You know, sometimes the bottom end's not quite as nice and it is heavier as well. But they really do accommodate everyone's budgets at Decathlon. It's a cracking place. I love it. We go in there and we can come out with all sorts of stuff of all different sports, and like just come out randomly with a kayak or something like that. You know, it's just one of those great places. But please check out my other reviews if you want to see any of this stuff in more detail. Definitely check out that Brecon Beacons wild camping video, and I hope to see you backpacking soon. Cheers.